team that you got to really, continue your defensive principles and intensity for all 40 minutes. I thought in the second half we had some, critical defensive breakdowns. Where when we were up and they went small and we were able to go small as well, and it helped us defensively. And the biggest challenge is to kind of get back into a much better flow consistently on offense. You see flashes where we're able to execute and play with the precision you need to play with. But again, the storyline is the 18 turnovers, 24-9 and points off turnovers. Again, as you try to move forward, it's 18 possessions that you have the ball that you don't even get a shot up. And when you lose a one possession game, it really highlights it even more. Obviously 21-5 or 21-6 against Houston in the points off turnovers, and then 24-9 today puts a lot of pressure on your other offensive possessions, and it puts a ton of pressure on your defensive possessions as well.
Russ Wood.
Coach, it seemed like when you were building momentum in the second half, you had 3 straight turnovers, and that kind of zapped you. Could you talk about that, please?
Yeah, and that was the critical point in the game. We were in a good flow offensively and defensively. We had a legal screen call on a ball screen. Guard left too early, didn't give the big a chance to set it. And then we had a step out of bounds, and then a turnover against the press. I think they might have scored on all 3 of those possessions. Critical in those situations that we do a better job of executing. No question about it.
Will Turner.
Coach, on that, one of the final possessions when you guys have about 26 seconds left on the clock, the shot clock is turned off and David hoists that 3. I'm assuming that wasn't the shot that you guys wanted to take in that situation.
No, we said right before that possession, we don't need a 3. I think we were down 3 at that time, right, Will? I think we were down 3.
Yeah.
Obviously we've proven it with the Wichita State game earlier in the year, the SMU game last year. Until you need a 3 or a wide open 3 presents itself, you just keep getting 2s. You just keep getting 2s, and you try to create as many possessions in the game that you can. I believe Castaneda huddled him up and said, we don't need 3s. We need to score. And that it's critical in those possessions that you get points every possession. Even if you get fouled and you make 1 out of 2, it keeps you in the game. Sometimes when you take a 3, you miss it, really puts you in a tough spot, and it kind of did in that one as well. So yes, we need unless the 3 from the corner off the driving kick that we missed was good. It's got to come within the flow, and it's got to be open. It can't be a rushed or a forced one.
Ken Cross.
Coach, Alexis Yetna and David Collins midway through the second half only had 2 combined points until Collins got hot. How much of that is the problem with the execution coming back from such a long break?
Well, I think there's no way around it. We're trying to teach the guys, let's not make any excuses. Let's not, let's take ownership on what we're doing, all of us, from coaching staff to players. But there's no doubt that offensively our rhythm is not where it needs to be. And at times I think both those guys aren't as aggressive offensively to score and shoot the ball as they need to be. In the first half alone, plenty of our perimeter guys had put up 3 or 4 shots. And at that time, I don't think David had taken a first half shot. You know, and Lex, maybe more than anybody, coming off the injury, coming back, having that another 30-day more or less layoff, has obviously really affected him by his output over the last two games. More so, you know, offensively, he was much better on the glass today than he was on Wednesday. But I think another example of a little bit being out of the rhythm and out of sorts a little bit on offense. You know, we get 14 offensive rebounds, but only get 11 second chance points. And those areas are just areas that we need to improve in. You know, when you play that hard to get those offensive rebounds, you got to come back and get something for it. And we're not getting enough for the effort on the glass.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Leo Haggerty.
Coach, a little bit along the line question. You couldn't have picked a tougher opponent coming off a month layoff than Houston on Thursday. Better performance today, but not the outcome you wanted. How long do you think it's going to take to get back to what you were playing in January?
I wish I knew. Again, there was some spurts in both the games this week. You know, again, you never know what other teams or programs that have had layoffs. What was it? Was it, you know, a couple guys that were quarantined and everybody else, they couldn't practice or play, but had opportunities to work out? I mean, we were more or less, you know, shut down a good part of those 32 days. So, you know, hopefully it'll take us 2 more days because we play on Wednesday and then we play again on Sunday. So, or on Saturday. So we don't have, you know, you get to this point in the season, there's not a lot of time. You just need to go out there and you need to practice well as much as you can practice. Cause that's the other thing when you're playing all these games, it's difficult to, spend extended time on the practice court as well.
Russ Wood.
Coach, Caleb struggled today. I gotta think that the long layoff that you had. Here, can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, I got you, Russ.
Okay. Caleb struggled today. I gotta think that the long layoff that you guys had would impact a freshman point guard possibly more than anyone else. Can you speak to that?
No question about it. You know, you throw a lot at them already, just in general, you know. But then when you add 30 days of not being able to practice, not being able to play games, where you get a better feel and you're staying in rhythm and different things like that. So it's really difficult on a freshman point guard. You know, both growing defensively and also growing offensively in terms of understanding reads and recognizing, you know, different defenses. You go from, you know, Houston that plays a tough, hard-nosed man-to-man defense to now facing a matchup zone. And so totally 2 different offensive game plans that you got to have in a, you know, 3-day period after multiple days off. And so it is challenge. It's definitely challenging. I feel for him. You know, he just got to keep at it, stay positive, you know, and continue to improve and use every single one of these difficult, adverse situations as an opportunity to learn and grow, an opportunity to continue to mature as a player.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Will Turner.
Coach, you look at these last, you know, 5 or 6 games, and 5 of the last 6 are on the road. You know, just this is going to be a huge stretch in terms of seeding for this conference tournament here in a month. You know, just how difficult is it to have these 5 of the last 6 on the road?
Yeah, it's a big challenge. You know, I mean, we have 1 more home game, and you know, here, that's it. So, you know, it seems like it's been forever since we played, and then you turn around and there's, relatively, tough stretch, a lot of games, and then, 5 out of the last 6 are on the road. So, we have our work cut out for us. We have the challenge cut out for us, and we'll learn a lot about just the fight and the character of everybody within the program, because it's not easy. We know it's a challenging, difficult road in front of us. And if we can tighten up a couple key areas, obviously offensively, the number one area we got to tighten up is taking care of the ball. We got to make good decisions with the ball, make solid plays with the ball. I think that would have a dramatic impact, not only offensively, but obviously a dramatic impact on our defense as well. 24 out of 62 points were directly resulted from our poor offensive decision-making. So we got to do a better job of that. We got to do a better job.
Ken Cross.
Coach Justin Brown got the fight today. He had 16 points. He's 7 of 12 from the floor in 32 minutes. Talk a little bit about him and how he was able to assert his game.
Yeah, I thought obviously, missed a couple early ones that were pretty good. Missed one late that was pretty good. But in the middle, I thought offensively he moved. He moved. You got to move. You got to cut. You got to get along the baseline. You got to play off other people's drives. And you got to be shot ready. We wanted to, off the ball, be down, ready to attack on the catch, shot, gap drive, or snap pass it to the next guy. I thought he did a very good job of that. Again, I think there was some defensive, mistakes. But you can always, even when he doesn't play well or makes a mistake, there's an effort and an energy level about him that was really, really good tonight. So that was good to see.
Thank you, Coach.
I will take one more from Leo Haggerty. Go ahead, Leo.
Coach, on some of the 50-50 balls, you were just a step slow. Is that just reaction from not practicing and playing as opposed to 1-2?
A little bit. I think in general in both these games, it's not hard to see. We're a step slow in a lot of stuff right now. All right, we're a step slow. Where we were a step slow getting back on a throw over the top on a ball screen action late in the game. We were a step slow on a couple, like you said, 50-50 balls or balls that were tipped or tapped, and they capitalized on them. I know they got one in the first half. They got the big three in the corner in the second half off it. So a combination of maybe having our feet in the mud a little bit just due to trying to get back, but also, lack of the game experience and lack of practice time and different things like that. But, we're a program that prides ourselves on those things. So, as we move forward, we got to shrink that gap. We can't have 5 or 6 of those situations come back to hurt us. And I think that was the case tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.